Hey guys, welcome. This is Brad Krantz. Thanks for joining me here. Special guest Adam Reeker, the co-founder of 3LA, one of my business partners here. We are going to be kind of showcasing the nuclear effect by Scott Oldford here about the six figures of building a online business. And I want to talk about one of his topics that relates to us that I think is kind of near and dear is building a community. So we're going to talk about that. We've got 10 points I'm going to hit here. So I'm going to kind of throw the questions out and let Adam here give his spin on it, because what's really cool about this book, what's interesting about what we're doing is the virtual blueprint for what we are already doing, and what he's writing about so aligns with what we're doing that I would say it's confirms that we're not crazy, but it's also almost scary because it's like, hey, somebody else gets this too. So we're not the only ones out there. So Adam, thanks so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. I'll tell you this. I've never really been the person that was afraid to be put on the spot. And I think the reason is this. When my wife and I started building this industry and we started building teams, we started learning about what worked and a lot about what did not work. Mm-hmm. We were just honest about it. Okay. When we were building teams, I remember so many times taking something back to the team that everybody was fired up about and telling them, I'll take responsibility, but that didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we've never been the people that said, if it didn't work, it's someone else's fault. What our job to do was just go out there and figure out what does work. And if you fail, at least be honest when you fail. I think we've come to a point very naturally over the last couple of years that's allowed us to be in a position to scale and more importantly, help other people scale their business and their teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So question one, he actually calls it 10 steps to building community, but he says, one, you've got to define the difference that you bring. What's our difference that we bring? I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer, but what's our difference?
Well, this is cool. This is a great question, because what's the difference between us and everybody else? That's literally how we market. Okay. Yeah. Now you can go market and do it how everybody else does it and maybe be successful for a certain period of time. But if you're looking to have something that changes the game or changes the industry, yeah. Now what you have to do is you have to go show the difference in who you are versus who everyone else is. So for us, it's very simple. We took network marketing and a traditional, fully at one point in time, global offline network marketing company. We flipped it on its head and brought it online. Yeah. Not just that, hey, we go talk to our Facebook friends. We don't go throw a random message out there. Yeah. Maybe we'll get into this more depth in just a couple of questions from now. But we actually built the thing to take an offline company online, because we know offline product companies are very, very stable. Yeah. So nobody really wants to grow them offline anymore.
Yeah. And what I found interesting, in fact, I just answered a guy's question. This guy's building online, but most MLM companies, and I'll say distributors, are locked into an archaic 20th century mindset. I mean, nobody, name me one company today that, and we'll just call it their Salesforce, has their Salesforce make a name list of everybody they know or everybody they've ever known and start calling them up or prospecting them. Nobody does that, not in the 21st century. So that, in my estimation, is why we're different. We're bringing 21st century marketing into place and to bear here. So
yeah, I think it had to happen. I think it was waiting to happen. I think a lot of people tried to figure it out. I think maybe we just had the right people around us to help us push that thing forward to make it happen.
Yeah. Great. So number two, he says, who are the influencers and connectors you need?
So here's the thing, guys. When you're building a team, and this is any team, you better have what I call your foxhole guys, okay? Your foxhole people. They can be men and women. But those are the people when there's something going on that's a little bit of a challenge and there's bullets flying overhead, you're in the foxhole together. And some of you guys probably have already heard something like that. But this is why it's so important, okay? If you want to have the right team, you have to set the standard, and the standard is set by the leaders you surround yourself with. Yeah. See, there's a reason that I'm talking with Brad Krantz right now. Why? Because he's one of my foxhole guys. He's a guy that if Ashley and I, more particular me, if I'm ever freaking out over something, okay, that maybe he has some insight on, I can call him and he can say, Adam, hey, just chill out, man. Got a lot more experience in this than you do. Let me walk you through this, okay? When you set those standards up here, not everybody else on the team sees that, Okay. So this is a little bit challenging to explain unless you've been in this situation. Okay. But you have to fail, I think, and have other people around you that failed and get united with them.
Yeah.
So that people know that you have the standard, and that's where your team chemistry comes from. That's where the leadership comes from.
Yeah. You know, I think, Adam, one of the biggest lessons I've learned over the last 10 months since we started putting this together and running is patience, because we did a lot of things that didn't work the way we wanted. And then, of course, COVID-19 hit. So patience has definitely been one of the virtues to build anything. It's just not going to happen overnight. And again, as I was just telling you earlier, related to the financial realm, but it's pertinent here, is you got to have, part of your plan has to be planning on your plan not going according to plan. And that's been like 2020 for sure.
Man, that's like everything right there, you know. And actually, Brad was kind of one of the first guys that ever said that. And we just had a conversation before we started talking about this, but he said, yeah, you better plan on your plan not going according to plan. And that was really where 3LE team got good, because we got really good at pivoting and then pivoting and then pivoting. We pivoted ourselves right into a situation where we could help a lot of people change forever.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, number 3, he asks, so determine the exclusivity. Says you want to determine who gets access to your value. Yep. So what's your take on this? So
this is really cool and unique to 3LE team. Can I dive right into 3LE team with this one? Is that okay? Because I don't want to be too narrow or too broad, but I'm 3LE team.
Absolutely.
3LE team.
Yeah.
3LE team is something that's very specific to this industry. And what we wanted to do was be in business with the right people, have the right system, okay, and have the right opportunity, all right? So we call that a couple of different things, but the exclusivity of it, I get to show everybody that, hey, I'm not everyone else. And if you just, the first couple of questions kind of show, hey, we're not everyone else. Right. I'm partnered with a top 10 income earner in the entire world. I don't care if you're talking about online or offline. His name's Calvin Becerra. That's very exclusive, right? Well, Calvin Becerra doesn't necessarily partner with everybody. He partners with 3LE team. He partners with myself. He partners with Brad Krantz. Everybody doesn't get to be involved in this, but we have this other thing that we have too, which is a new person on our team. When they're serious, we fly them to Orlando, Florida every single month. Why do we do this? Well, because we want them to see the president of the company. We want them to see the corporation. We want them to meet Brad Krantz and myself and Calvin and the team, okay? There's no one else out there that has this opportunity where someone says, yes, I'm serious. Yes, I want to be exclusive. Yes, I want to build this differently. And then we say, hey, cool. Well, I'm going to send you to Orlando, Florida next month. And all you got to pay for is the food you eat while you're there. Yeah. And the most important thing you can do is get to know me and get to know your team. Yeah. Don't tell me who else has that opportunity. And that's before we even get into the system. That's just the relationships.
That's pretty exclusive, because that's one thing that impressed me. I'd never seen that out there. I mean, this company Jeunesse would fly us down, in this case, back in January, to Hollywood, pay for our airfare and 2 nights at Lowe's Hotel, which is a 4-star hotel. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So that's exclusive. Let's jump and talk about determining our ideology. Okay, says for your group to matter, you need to determine what you think is right and wrong.
Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. Within 3LE team, we're very open about 2 things: what works and what doesn't work. Yeah. And when we talk about what doesn't work, it's because we failed. Like Brad Krantz, he can tell you about some failures he's had in this industry, okay? He's seen Ashley and I fail before in this industry. But the other thing that we can talk about is what it looks like to win. Because I don't know that you can ever show somebody how to really win unless you can tell them how not to lose, okay? And so when you've been in this thing for 15, 20 years and beyond, and you've done a lot of different things and you've seen success, if you've seen success, you've automatically seen failure. So if you want to teach people the right things, then you better be willing to talk about why you lost, how you lost, what it looked like, what it felt like, and why you kept going, in my opinion, because the why you kept going is very important. So with the 3LE team right now, they see us changing, they see us pivoting, but they do not see us losing. All they see is we make a change and we win better, okay? We make a change, we win faster. We make a change, we win more. But that is because we'll tell you that we lost too. Yeah. And when you just teach people the stuff that no one wants to teach. Everybody always just wants to teach the success. If you slow down and teach your team what it feels like and what it looks like to lose, they will understand why they're winning. Just take my word on it.
Well, it's being real, Adam, because one of the biggest things that's really hit home with me, and Calvin says this, is you don't learn anything from success, but you learn from failure. But failure is integral to success. You can't have success without failure. In fact, Thomas Watson, the founder of IBM, said, if you want to double your success rate, you got to double your failure rate.
That's it.
And we don't learn that in society. We don't learn that in school, but nobody who's been successful has never failed. So I say, good for us. We failed a bit, but we pivoted. We're on the right track.
Yeah. The team culture, and I think, and I've always said this, the culture of your team will tell you whether or not people are winning or losing.
Yeah.
Okay? If you've got a tight team, okay, they may not be going to 0 all the way to $1 million a year overnight. That's not what this is about. If you've got a culture that believes in where you're going, you get tighter all the time. As you pivot, you get tighter, you get more excited, you get more focused on where you're going. That's a good team culture. If you get the team culture that if one little thing's out of place, 10 people are leaving, you didn't have the right culture to begin with. And you probably had a culture based on lies. So I'm just telling you, be honest with your team. That's really important.
Yeah. And that leads me to, make your members feel constantly appreciated. That's so important. That's something that I didn't see a lot in the corporate world, unfortunately, but I think that's par for the course. But make your members feel constantly appreciated, Adam.
So this one's easy for us because we love people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's been duplicated throughout the organization is we bring people on who also love people. So we've got, in our marketing, a lot of people know this term, the VSL, or the video sales letter that we use online. That's just kind of an introduction to what 3LE team is, who's a part of our team, who Ashley and I are. And we celebrate absolutely everything because we too were a part of different cultures where we weren't celebrated at all. Yeah. Like, I go spend $500 on something that was never going to actually help me in my business just so my upline would give me an attaboy. That was a problem because half the time they didn't even give you the attaboy. And I think that was one of the things that we just detested in this thing. So when we just told the truth, like, hey, I've been in those companies, I've been in those situations with upline. Mm-hmm. I love you. I believe in you. And the reason we kept going is because we wanted to serve people. Yeah. That is, I think, what keeps me going in 3LE, and 3LE thrives. But we love to celebrate everything. The first time somebody has a product order, okay, we're celebrating that. When somebody hits the first rank, we're celebrating that. When someone's downline hits the first rank, now we're celebrating both of them. Not only that, we love to, seriously, we open our home up to people, and I love to have members from the team from all over the country come spend a weekend with us. One of my favorite weekends this entire last crazy 2020 was when Brad Krantz came and hung out with me. We just hung out man to man, okay? We ate food, we sat around bonfires, we walked around the neighborhood, we played with my dumb dog, and we just were together, right? Yeah. And we just love that, and it's being duplicated across the board on our team.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, this one, number 6 is make people feel like a better version of themselves. And I have to say for myself, leaving my job almost 2 years ago, I have never felt so empowered before in my life, because I had people like Val Campbell, people like you, Adam, and your wife, Ashley, actually believe in me, that I could start to believe in myself, that I was capable of more than I thought that I was capable. And that's all mindset, what we think we're capable of and what we think we can do. But making people feel like a better version of themselves. Tell me about that.
So this had to happen for me first before I could ever put it into anyone else's life. But it's more of a feeling, like you said, than it is like, hey, let's go have a teaching and you're going to feel better about yourself at the end of this. Okay. Brad didn't know how awesome he was, but all these people around him were saying, Brad Krantz is awesome. I'm listening to him. Okay. Some of this takes place, within 3LE team when we have our own weekend events, because, people won't really see the entire big, powerful picture of 3LE until they're at a weekend, and it's called Y Weekend. It's called 3LE's team's Y Weekend. And it's just 3LE team talking about success, talking about things that they've been through, talking about little tips and tricks and things that can make someone better. But for me, when I started feeling like I was more, is because someone told me and literally believed that I was more. and then I would just take their word for it, and people started following me.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll tell you a beautiful thing about Brad Krantz. He's going to grow an enormous team, even bigger than it is today, because he took me at my word maybe a couple of months ago and started to just show people who he was, you know, and the people and the caliber and quality of people that join Brad Krantz are like way up here.
Yeah.
Okay. When I started figuring this out, these people were like way down here. So Brad's an outstanding example of that, but he's been successful in this world. I mean, you should see his family. He's got an amazing family. He's got 2 beautiful daughters, an awesome wife. Okay. And he was able to walk away from his job, and he's got to retire. Guys, he doesn't have to build 3LE. He's got retirement. He's cool. But why he wanted to keep going was he wanted to go fulfill the purpose and the mission in his life that maybe just for a minute he wasn't sure if he could do. Yeah. Now there's no doubts that he can. So imagine the thousands, millions of people he's going to impact because of that little switch in thought process. Yeah. Just let people believe in you, and I'm telling you, you'll start to believe in yourself.
Well, I got to tell myself too, you know, reading this book, which is again just awesome, but I have started talking about this, and I'm believing it when I tell people we're talking about scaling a 7+ figure business, right?
And we're not messing around about it. Like,
no, and we're serious about it. We can actually, we can do it. This guy wrote a book about it. Okay, so there's other, you know, I'll just say leaders that are crazy enough to believe they can do it. And we're some of them. I'm really starting to believe that. I'm talking about it because if you don't talk about it and set that vision and your self-talk, it's never going to happen. So kudos to you guys. I think to be a part of an opportunity where I can elevate my thinking instead of thinking, gosh, maybe I can go from $80,000 to $90,000 a year in a job stuck back there. That's really kind of hard to do. And we got to get around the right people anyway, guys. So 70, he talks about creating a common pain point. You got to determine what pain point you and your group are solving. And by giving people a common pain point, he says you can present your solution. Talk about that. How do you see that?
Well, this is interesting because it kind of goes back to number one and how do we market? Yeah. And what we do as far as marketing is we tell people flat out why we're different. Yep. Okay. And then it kind of hits on number 4 because we talk about why we're different because we failed and we kept going. Yep. It's all about transparency. All right. So what our common pain point is to this point, just so you know, people love this industry. People lose in this industry too often. Yep. You know, you can talk to somebody and almost everybody you know has been involved in network marketing or knows someone that's been involved in network marketing. If you've ever read the book GoPro, it talks about this. Yeah. Okay. Actually, one of the new members of our team did a breakdown on GoPro. I posted it to the page the other day. It's one of the things he talks about. He said, everybody you know or someone they know has been involved in network marketing. So why did they change? Why did they fail? It's because they didn't understand it. Yeah. So number 1, we just tell people why we're different. Why are we different? Because I'm not telling you to make a list of friends and family. I'm taking this industry and I'm turning it on its head. Brad Krantz and I are turning this on its head. Yeah. We use professional marketing so that people come to us and we don't have to go to them. Okay. There's several videos on Brad's page that can illustrate exactly what I'm talking about there, so I won't go into it. Yeah. Number 4, hey, we failed. Okay. So everybody knows somebody that's been in. Everybody knows somebody that's failed. Hi, you might as well know me because I'm no different from them. Me too. The difference is we kept going and we learned from our failure. Because if you learn from your failure, you'll win. Actually, it's another quote that I love. If you ask enough of the right questions of the right people for long enough, you will get what you are after. Most people choose not to. So most people quit. So most people go get the job, get the paycheck. I'm not against jobs and a paycheck. They're important. Yes, but jobs and a paycheck is not your dream. So you're seeing a couple of guys in really a bigger team that's connected to the best of the best as far as a partnership, a company, or marketing, or technology that are turning this thing on its head because we weren't done asking questions. We weren't done learning. We were ready to go out there and figure out the pain points, and we represent the pain points. We just decided to fix them, and you won't know how we fixed them unless you're on the inside of the 3LE team.
Yeah. So the next one is talk about your solution constantly. And Adam, what really kind of piques my interest on this and how I relate to this is, again, being able to use online platforms. If you understand how your ability to reach people around the world, and we're going to talk about scaling something globally, how's the most efficient, effective way to reach them? Well, through social media, but you got to know people that know what they're doing and they can teach you how to do it to be able to do that. And we can do that. But the other thing you've talked about, we want to change the face of network marketing. It's more and more people I talk to, this respectable industry. It's a viable industry, but we need to raise the game on it to make it more like how other companies do business, but to be able to take this thing and scale it, right? I mean, our solution, we talk about solution constantly, is to change how we do business and how everybody else does business so that it works.
Yeah. So this is interesting, guys. So I was doing a business launch last night, my wife and I were, with a gentleman from India, absolutely outstanding guy. He's been in the States for 7 or 8 years. And this is the first time he's touched network marketing, but he said back home, network marketing is a big business. Within 3LE, we talk about being network marketing professionals, yes. Okay? And everywhere around the world outside of North America, this is a serious profession. And I asked him a question that he gave me insight on that no one's ever given me insight on before, and I loved it. I said, why do you think they take it so seriously over there and not over here? And he said, it's because people's standard of living over here with a job, even at minimum wage, is so much higher than someone in the countries that I know of. So they don't take it seriously.
Yeah, okay? That's true. I that's what I think too. We have so many options here. People's standard of living, I tell homeless people here live better than people in Africa.
Yep.
I mean, they do.
And so what I say all the time is if I want to give somebody a position, a platform, like you said, social media is everything. Mm-hmm. But one special thing about 3LE is because of the partnerships that we have, we can help amplify somebody. So if I can help amplify them and give them a platform so that more people find them because they're serious, and I know they'll help those people that find them, that's what 3LE team can do because of where we've positioned ourselves in the marketplace. Yeah. And so a gentleman named Shashadri that literally grew up in India that says, if people in the United States don't understand how big this is, then I kind of want a platform to help show them, because I'm taking my business back home anyways. It's going to be a global business.
Yeah.
I can't change anybody's mind, but I can give them a platform to where they cannot unsee it. Okay. So that's the thing. And Brad's awesome at social media. Do you guys know Brad? Like Gary Vee follows him on LinkedIn. We're not talking about small people. Brad's interviewed authors of outstanding literature because he has a platform that people want to be on. This is not like Brad's been doing online marketing for 20 years. Brad figured out who he is and who he wants to become, and people find him because they also want to be part of what he's a part of, including myself. Like, we're business partners, 100%. I
think it's just social media, as I see it, Adam. I call it like a great equalizer. It allows you, if you have a voice and you'll use it and you'll learn how to use it effectively, people start listening to you.
Yep.
And that's awesome. That's awesome.
This is it. Now, I might answer the last question before you ask it. Here's why I want people to know Brad Krantz. Here's why I want people to know who Joel Kellman is. If you don't know who Joel Kellman is, check out some other Brad videos. If you don't know who Paul Counts is, check out some of Brad's videos. Why I want people to know who Brad Krantz is, who Calvin Becerra is, who 3LE team is because when you know you've got the right thing that can help somebody go from point A to point B, to help them scale a 7-figure business, then you want people to find them and you want people to find you. Okay. So you can go out there and this is awesome. It's no problem. You can join 1,000 different opportunities. I don't care what you do. You can go trade some cryptocurrency. You can go do some affiliate marketing. You can go join, the ones that come and go every single day, or you can take a look and understand what you're looking at and find the right team, the right system, the right opportunity that can take you from where you are to a very high level and supports you the whole way. That is what Brad and I are building within 3LE team. And I'm telling you this one time, you got to be on the inside to really understand it.
Yeah. So, and the last one here that kind of answered, let the advocates lead. We've got some pretty good advocates on our side, like Paul Kellman, Joel Kellman, Paul Counts, Calvin Becerra, but show the big idea and vision constantly.
That's what we do. That's exactly right. That's why I want people to know who you guys are. You know, I could go out there and say, hey, I'm 3LE team, come take a look at this thing. Or I can say, here's my technology partner. Here's my marketing partner. Here's my business partner. Here's my downline building partner. Here's the company.
Yeah.
Well, which one would you rather I did? I mean, I can go sell like, hey, here, I'm Adam. I'm a nice guy. I'm guarantee you'll trust me. You'll like me. And I will help those people. Otherwise, I can say, hey, take a look. This is Brad Krantz over here. This is Calvin Becerra, makes like 150 grand a week in this thing. Here's Joel Kellman. He's sold multi-million-dollar businesses already, but he personally partners with 3LE. Yeah. Here's Paul Counts. He's the guy that markets Les Brown and other top motivational speakers online. By the way, that's who markets 3LE team. Yeah. Which are you more attracted to? The goofy guy sitting in the office when it's snowing outside in Omaha, or hearing stories about the people that are surrounding this thing called 3LE team? Because I don't need to be a face at 3LE. 3LE is all encompassing of people that want to make it happen.
Yeah. I think those are great. Creating community. That's one part of our platform, is to create the right community, guys. And I think we've done that by the people that we are bringing on, the caliber of people we're bringing on, talent to help us raise the level of our game, to raise people's awareness and the respectability of this industry. So Adam, thanks so much for joining me today. Guys, hey, I just want to kind of leave you with this, is that please reach out if you have questions, if you'd like to just have a conversation. We're not here to hound you, to put pressure, but, reach out if you have any interest, want to know what we're doing to scale a business to 7 figures, find out more about what makes 3LE unique. Please reach out. I'll post the link on my description, but you can also reach out to me on my social media platforms as well. And would love to find the right people to partner with us and see if, we're the right team for you to partner with too, guys. So thanks so much for joining us here today, guys. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.